Okay, first up, the top political story that we are tracking. After attending the Niti Aayog meeting in the capital this morning, Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje has now left back from Delhi and has reached Jaipur. Reports have suggested that Raje would meet BJP Chief Amit Shah later this afternoon, but she left Delhi soon after the Niti Aayog meeting, where, of course, it was a subcommittee meeting chaired by Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But she did not meet any of the BJP top brass. Media reports have been suggesting that she would meet the BJP President Amit Shah. No meeting with the Prime Minister had been scheduled. But now, this departure, of course, immediately after that Niti Aayog meeting, which Vasundhara Raje did attend, that too following much speculation whether she would come to Delhi or not. It was not, there was not much clarity really till late night yesterday. Remember when that meeting happened in 7 Racecourse Road, the official residence of the Prime Minister between Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. Okay, I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Sanket Upadhyay and Gaurav Sawant. Gaurav, first up, what are you listening as, what are you hearing from the sources as to how do we read into this cancellation of a meeting that we were expecting to happen?
Well, top BJP leaders now saying you were speculating about that those meetings. One, they were never scheduled, they were never sought. But other sources say that wasn't true. As a courtesy also, when Vasundhara Raje comes to Delhi, she does meet the senior leadership of the central government and the party. But in this case, a wrong signal would have gone. It would have led to more speculation whether she survives or she goes, and that is why they made it very clear that since she has the backing of the centre, she only came to attend that subcommittee meeting of Niti Aayog. She attended that meeting and she went back. There is no speculation about whether she stays or she goes. All documents have been vetted by the party leadership. Right. As of now, looking at these documents, whatever is there in public domain, she has no reason to be concerned. There is no illegality. According to the BJP, there is also no impropriety in issuing that affidavit, that witness letter for Lalit Modi, because that wasn't officially submitted. She did not appear in court for him. So according to the BJP, there is no illegality, no impropriety, and she stays for now.
Absolutely. And now that she stays on is what we are told by our sources. Sanket, what do you make of Vasundhara Raje's presence in Jaipur, where we believe that she has reached back, of course? Did you see any change in terms of her body language? Are you expecting her to interact with media anytime soon?
Well, Smita, as of now, there is no talk of whether she's actually going to interact, but she has landed in Jaipur. She is expected here any minute now. We are standing outside civil lines where there is her official residence. In fact, this feed that we are giving you is from right outside her residence. Her motorcade is about to reach here. It's definitely a bit surprising that she went to Delhi. It was expected that she is going to have a meeting with the top 2 leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Prime Minister as well as the National President, Amit Shah. That has not happened at this moment. She has in fact made a surprise comeback to Jaipur. She is in fact here. She is expected to meet with her leaders all over again. In her absence, there was, of course, meetings taking place among the senior leaders, Rajendra Rathod as well as Ashok Parnami. They were continuously meeting. Under what circumstances, Smita, has this decision been taken that without any meeting, something that was pretty much expected, she has in fact come back? What does this mean? In fact, that's Vasundhara Raje. Her cavalcade, her motorcade has in fact come back. She is in fact right outside her official residence. You can see that she is in fact entering. That's her motorcade entering her residence.
Yes, Sanket, we could see that she was seated, in fact, that front seat of the car, which she is, which she tends to do, and that motorcade just passed by you. So those were the visuals, of course, of Vasundhara Raje, who has now reached back Jaipur. As Sanket, of course, we can see him now there in the frame. These are earlier visuals of Delhi, where she had landed and stepped out of the IGI airport. There was a minor incident reported also about some media vehicle which seemed to have collided with one of her convoy cars. But now Vasundhara Raje, after that Niti Aayog meeting, these are fresh visuals now. She is back to her residence, to her official residence in Jaipur. So Sanket, what is the mood that you sense from the Chief Minister's Secretariat really? Is it going to be just, she will be going about as being back to business?
Well, for the past few days, we have seen that she is not even going to her office. She has been operating from her residence. We have, in fact, seen that most of the MLAs, most of the bureaucrats, they have in fact been coming to her official residence for any official work. It's more political discourse that has in fact dominated as far as Vasundhara Raje is concerned and this entire controversy is concerned. It was expected that when she actually went this morning to Delhi, there will in fact be a meeting. It is but natural to expect that there could have been a meeting between the top leadership as well as Vasundhara Raje. That apparently has not happened. She attended that meeting and immediately came back to Jaipur. Under what circumstances has this actually been done is something that will be very interesting to see. Only she can answer why this decision was taken, but we will in fact try and get in a word from the state media cell as to under what circumstances did she actually come back.
Gaurav, also, is the BJP really being able to explain a contradiction of sort? Because, in that affidavit that Vasundhara Raje had submitted in support of Lalit Modi's immigration papers in the UK, she went on for paragraphs saying that this was a Congress smear campaign against her, targeting Lalit Modi as well. Now, on the one hand, where the BJP says there's no wrongdoing on Vasundhara Raje's part, but is perhaps also trying to make sure that the investigative agencies go after Lalit Modi. Is there some sort of an apparent contradiction here as well?
Well, the BJP clearly doesn't want to be seen as soft on Lalit Modi, because it's not just impropriety, it's not just illegality or the way Congress puts it. As far as the BJP is concerned, there's a perception battle, and Lalit Modi, in that perception battle, if the BJP is seen as soft on Lalit Modi, it won't be very good for the party, and that is the thinking within the party. So Arun Jaitley's next task as the finance minister is to ensure that all action that needs to be taken, whatever cases have been registered so far, they are pursued and taken to their logical conclusion. But as Mr. Raghavan, the former CBI director, told India Today, bringing him back to India, even if there is an Interpol red corner notice, which there isn't one just as yet, there's just a blue corner, a light blue corner as they say. Even if there is a notice, it's easier said than done to bring him back to India. It's a long drawn exercise. A lot of this will play out politically, whether it's the monsoon session of Parliament or Bihar elections. Well, the BJP, for now, factoring all of that in and insisting there is no illegality, including in the transfer of shares from a Member of Parliament and Vasundhara Raje's son Dushyant Singh and his wife to Vasundhara Raje. All of that the BJP claims is above board. It remains to be seen whether it stands the test of legal scrutiny or not.
Absolutely, and also, of course, sources telling India Today that perhaps what has also been calculated on the BJP's part is the fact that they have seen that Veerbhadra Singh, really the Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister, prior to elections, there were charges of scams and allegations against him too, but it did not affect in terms of his prospects in those elections, where he did manage a mandate for himself. And the BJP, remember, when of course they had acted against Yediyurappa in Karnataka in the last few years, his new outfit, the BSY, really managed to chip away some 10% of the traditional BJP vote in the state. So these were also political calculations that have been factored in by the BJP as they have gone ahead and given that clean sheet to Vasundhara Raje for the moment. The opposition, however, is mounting pressure on the BJP for her resignation, of course, in connection with all these revelations that keep coming in as far as her relations with the former IPL Commissioner Lalit Modi are concerned. But Sanket, what are you learning from the Congress camp there? Will there be more street protests in the days to come? And what is the working relationship really like with that Vasundhara Raje shares today with maybe the party unit headed by somebody like Om Thanvi?
As far as Vasundhara Raje is concerned, after all this controversy, many of her detractors thought that she will be on, skating on thin ice, and perhaps this is an opportunity for them to come to the forefront. But that seriously has not actually been the case in Rajasthan. Perhaps because Vasundhara Raje has been able to prove that she is no pushover, she is going to fight this through, and maybe she has been able to convince the central leadership that she is not in the wrong. The central leadership, the point that you were actually mentioning, has burnt its fingers with stacking Yediyurappa, losing the state of Karnataka, and then eventually having him back. Will they actually want to repeat the same this time around? Because it has all the ingredients for something similar, a coup within the party. Vasundhara Raje so strong, or at least getting this perception by continuous talk with state unit leaders that she is stronger and not as weak as many actually at the centre would, or her detractors would want the centre to believe. So it's definitely a case where the centre cannot take its chances. As far as, Smita, your question about the Congress is concerned, remember, Congress numerically is very weak, both in the state as well as at the centre. In that case, whatever pressure that they mount is definitely going to be political pressure, but how much of it is actually going to be taken seriously by the BJP or the centre is, something that we have all actually seen. Will they carry out protests in the future? Well, there are some strategies. Immediately, of course, there is no protest planned, but maybe in the future, there could be some strategy on the part of the Congress to highlight all these cases over and over again.
Gaurav, also, keeping in mind that the monsoon session of Parliament is still around 3 weeks away, and even if we're talking about Bihar elections, that's also a couple of months away, only later towards the year. So clearly the BJP does have some time maybe to build on the strategy.
Well, they are working towards, as they claim, a coherent strategy. Initially, there were a series of flip-flops initially when everyone ended up saying that Lalit Modi is a fugitive. One thing the BJP has made very clear, they're saying under what law is he a fugitive just as yet? That needs to be explained. What we're also being told by sources is that a series of revelations are likely to take place in the coming days, and a lot of things could change. Now, Lalit Modi, sitting in the United Kingdom, has also been teasing a lot of new things coming out through his Twitter handle, and there he says, whether he talks about principles of war or gear up and new things coming up, whether he talks about meeting a Priyanka Gandhi or a Robert Vadra, all of that, and new revelations perhaps expected on Monday or Tuesday. So, any further movement or development on the story will depend on the next move. Whatever information is out there in the public domain so far, the BJP claims it is confident to tackle the situation. Nothing that its 282 members cannot handle versus 44 of the Congress party. They're willing for for this monsoon session to be a washout. That they're willing to take, but they're not willing to sacrifice either Sushma Swaraj or Vasundhara Raje. That is something the party is very clear about.
Okay, Gaurav, stay with us. I'm also joined by Jugal Purohit, who joins us from outside of Scindia Villa, where, remember, Vasundhara Raje was before she headed back to Jaipur from Delhi. Jugal, have you been able to get any sense from Scindia House or from any of the people? Was there any, in fact, interaction with any BJP leader while Vasundhara Raje was there?
Well, Smita, she didn't really come here. She, from the Niti Aayog meeting is when she started playing, if I may call, a hide-and-seek game of sorts. The car in which she arrived was not the car in which she left. For a long time, there was absolute suspense over just who is she meeting. She did not meet the Prime Minister or Amit Shah or Jaitley or perhaps anyone else, at least publicly so. And one may just think here that if she is emerging, as is being spoken about, her episode in Rajasthan, if she is indeed emerging unscathed, then wouldn't she have wanted that the party sort of present a show of strength, a show of being united with her? That opportunity which would have come only now, because remember, all along she has either refused to come out of her residence in Jaipur, or if she has, then she's not left Jaipur. This is for the first time after this scandal broke that she decided to move beyond Jaipur. The party has not effectively given her that opportunity. That is what one can say for sure. On the other side of the coin, one can always argue that yes, she is now, the whole saga is behind her. She's attended the Niti Aayog meeting firmly as the Chief Minister in office, in control. That should give a signal also. So there are two ways to look at it. But yes, what one can say, Smita, is that today's so-called open schedule that was being spoken about early on this morning by people close to the BJP seems to have suddenly changed. And Vasundhara Raje, who was here with no serious schedule in mind, is back in Jaipur even before the lunchtime comes about.
Absolutely. But Sanket, how is the BJP state unit really decoding the Prime Minister's silence on this entire issue, something that the opposition is questioning, and especially given the fact that here is the man who otherwise was taking pot shots at Manmohan Singh all throughout while he was in opposition, calling him Manmohan Singh. So how is the state unit itself decoding the silence?
Well, of course there is a sense of confusion because, initially when the central leadership, the sort of proactive defense that it showed for Sushma Swaraj, when the same proactiveness was not shown for Vasundhara Raje, there was a sense within the Vasundhara loyalists that perhaps the central leadership is not too kind in this particular gesture or in this particular act. They should come out in full force. Even when they came out in her support, it was, say, Sudhanshu Trivedi at the center and some ministers or leaders like Nitin Gadkari, who are traditionally known as people who are, perhaps less, they don't particularly have a conflicting relationship with Vasundhara Raje. So, of course, as far as the state leadership of the BJP is concerned, they were actually hoping that more and more people, perhaps the senior leadership like that of Mr. Amit Shah, as well as, the Prime Minister himself will actually come out and defend her. That has not been the case. Of course, we have seen Arun Jaitley come out and said that there is absolutely no illegality. So those token noises are in fact being made, but of course a lot needs to be read between the lines. And I think, Smita, the point that Jugal has made is spot on. It's bang on, because he says that when she was in Delhi, and if the party was indeed with her, strongly backing her, then Delhi and a meeting or perhaps a photo opportunity would have been the perfect opportunity for the party to show that they are together and send out a strong message. That has not happened, and that definitely will leave the state leadership of BJP wanting.
And remember, this controversy in fact also gave a chance to people like Niti Aayog or to R.K. Singh to come up with those comments. R.K. Singh there, who was the former Home Secretary too, had questioned especially the former Mumbai Police Commissioner R.K. And his meeting with Lalit Modi, a supposed meeting in London. But having done so, he had also said that the law must be applicable equally to all. So thereby questioning in terms of helping an absconder. Mr. Singh says that Lalit Modi is an absconder and nobody should be helping him. So which would also put Sushma Swaraj in that same bracket. For now though, Vasundhara Raje, Sushma Swaraj, they are all safe. There's going to be no sacking, is what has been told to India today. Vasundhara Raje is back in Rajasthan. But is it a united BJP backing her is something that remains the question. Jugal Purohit, Gaurav Sawant and Sanket Upadhyay, many thanks for having joined with all that update and perspective.